Traders, welcome to the start of the Trading Psychology Fundamental series. Now this series is eventually going to turn into a YouTube playlist covering the most key concepts in trading psychology. You know, I get a lot of questions and I see a lot of common trading mindset and trading psychology challenges that traders face. And what I wanted to do with this series is address each and every single one of them. To put a video together dedicating to one particular topic, that one video, giving you the insights that you need to understand about that particular challenge or concept, and giving you a very practical solution to that, so that every time you watch one of these trading psychology fundamental videos, you're walking away with an actionable step that will translate into better results in your trading. Now, in today's video, we are going to start off by talking about overtrading. We're going to be talking specifically about how you can break the habit of overtrading. There are many traders out there who, as a result of overtrading, lose funded accounts, fail funded challenges, have strong emotional reactions, and ultimately stop themselves from having consistent profitability because they can't break this impulsive habit of wanting to trade and overtrading. So in this particular masterclass, I wanted to shed some insights on overtrading and how you can specifically break the psychological habit of overtrading. I'm going to give you very actionable steps and actionable insights that you can implement to ensure that you overcome this challenge. Masterclass on breaking the habit of overtrading. Now, there are two specific problems that we're going to address when we talk about overtrading. The first thing we need to understand when we talk about overtrading is what drives this particular behavior. Because if you're aware of what drives the behavior, you can put solutions and things in place to mitigate yourself falling into that particular trap. We're going to make an assumption first and foremost that you already have a clear process-based trading plan. If you want to have a good, solid trading psychology, you really need to have a good, solid set of rules that are guiding your decision-making in the markets. And the step one really of having a trading psychology that's balanced, that's poised, that's process-based, that ultimately allows you to have consistent profitability is ensuring that you have an edge, and that edge has been very meticulously tested in the market so you know it's true, and then you've taken that particular edge and you've broken it into a step-by-step trading plan with checklists, with simple rules, with some images, etc., etc. You need to have that first. Because if you're trying to go into the market with a psychology that's not impacted by fear and greed, and you're just trying to trade on the fly and you don't really know what your edge is, you're going to have an enormous amount of emotional volatility. You're going to want to overtrade. You're going to have all these challenges that traders face with their psychology. The moment you put a clear process-based trading plan, now you have something that's anchoring you in the market. It's like a map. You know exactly what to do, when to do it, etc., etc. And then if you find yourself still having psychological issues and having issues sticking to your trading plan, this is where these lectures become incredibly important. Now, we will eventually talk about developing a clear trading plan in this fundamental series, but for now, make sure you're doing your best to create a set of rules and putting those into a trading plan, and then implement these insights because they will be incredibly useful once you have a trading plan. Now, there are two common challenges that drive overtrading. If you understand what these challenges are, you understand the root that's driving the behavior, then you can look to implement simple processes and simple procedures to mitigate this behavior. The first reason is psychological, and we're going to talk a lot about this because it's what I believe is a very key cornerstone concept when we talk about trading psychology. It's what I've seen over the last 8 years. Personally, this is what I've seen with hundreds of clients and students. A lot of them are setting and projecting just wild fantasies and unrealistic expectations that they create in their own mind in the virtual market, and they're just projecting these onto the market and expecting these from the market. And if you don't have a level of understanding of this and awareness of this, and you don't have a tool to be able to manage this, then you're going to overtrade and you're going to have a lot of the trading psychology issues. So the first thing we need to learn to patch up, and the first thing we need to learn to address when we talk about specifically overtrading, is this setting and projecting of expectations, unrealistic expectations. The second reason why I've seen traders overtrade is because it's more of a structural challenge in their life. They may be a full-time trader, for example, and they have this desire to have to make money from the markets, because if they don't make money this month, they They can't pay bills, for example, and they haven't really structured anything else in their life. All they're doing is trading. So they're sitting at their desk 8 hours a day, and maybe their strategy presents only one opportunity a day that takes 15 minutes. And you think about it, a trader sitting at a desk for 8 hours, it's very tempting to want to put a position on or to want to overtrade, because you feel like you have to make money, or you feel like you don't really have anything else to do. And if you don't trade, you'd be incredibly bored. So the second challenge that we're going to talk about is more structural. And we're going to talk a lot about structure. We're going to talk a lot about income. We're going to talk about these types of things that will help mitigate and quiet down impulsive overtrading. Okay, so these are the two challenges, these are the two problems that we need to address when we talk about overtrading, and that's what we're going to do in this particular video. So I want you to implement this for the psychological challenge. The first thing you want to be doing, and you don't want to overlook the psychological. You may think you're overtrading more of because of the structural issue, but the truth is, if you haven't patched up the psychology, you don't have something that allows you to be aware of your expectations and manage that, then you're going to have a lot of psychological problems in your trading. So setting and projecting unrealistic expectations of the outcome onto the market will keep you in a cycle of wanting to trade. Let me explain this a little bit, okay? I just want to use this as a little bit of an analogy. You've probably heard this before, but you have two different markets usually. You've got the real market, which is the one that's on your computer. That's the one that everybody tends to participate in, right? The real market, your MT4, your MT5, your interactive broker, whatever it is, that's the real market. That's the market that has the price over time. That's the real market. Then there is what I call the virtual market. The virtual market's the market in the trader's head. This is what they think is going to happen, okay? And what a lot of traders are doing is they're creating these ideas in the virtual market of what they think is going to happen next, where they think price is going to go, how quickly it's going to get there, how it's going to look when getting there. And what they do is they create all these ideas in the virtual market in their head, which is just a fantasy. There's no basis of it in the real market. And then they're projecting it onto the real market. And because they've created this strong idea in their mind and they really want this thing to happen, this expectation to happen, this idea to be fulfilled, this desire to be fulfilled, they project it onto the real market. And what they're doing is they're putting risk on in the real market, on their broker, on their MT4, their MT5, their interactive broker, but they're making the decision based on the virtual market in their head. And there's a disconnect there. They're not present with the real market. They're caught up in this fantasy in the virtual market, and then they're putting risk on in the real market. Can you see how there's a little bit of a discrepancy there? This is what I've seen traders who have a lot of psychological challenges and have inconsistency. This is the trap they're caught in. Whereas I've seen a lot of very, very good traders, they're very present with the market. And they're so unattached by the outcome. They don't care about the win or the loss, the fear or the greed. They're so unattached to that what happens is they're not caught up in their mind, but they're genuinely curious and they're genuinely present with the real market. And they have this level of curiosity if they want to know what's going to happen next. And they're not projecting any ideas or expectations, but they're so curious and so humble to the real market in front of them that they want to know what's going to happen next, and they're listening. And that's a key difference between what I've seen between amateur traders and professional traders, between traders who are inconsistent and traders who are consistent, okay? And this particular tool that I'm going to give you right now is a tool that's going to help you make that transition from the amateur trader to the professional trader, from the inconsistent trader to the consistent trader, and ultimately from the trader who overtrades and takes all these crappy positions to the trader who's like a sniper, who's very patient and who's very meticulous and who's very precise and accurate and just takes those few good trades, okay? Because that's really what we're talking about today. We're talking about overtrading, but believe it or not, overtrading or taking just the right amount of positions has a big, big impact on your ability to have consistent profitability, and ultimately has a big, big impact on your emotional state. And this tool is going to help you trade less, make more money, and be less emotional. It's a bit of a no-brainer, okay? So it's crucial to identify and ground unrealistic outcome-based expectations that you create in your mind, that you create in the virtual market in your head. And a very simple way to do this is by downloading the tool. It's going to be the first link in the description. You can go in there and download it. It's completely free. You'll just need to put your email in there, and then it's completely free. And then I'll also put it in the first comment on on the YouTube comments. So go in there, download that, take a second, pause the video, download that tool, and watch the videos that I've put with that tool, the walkthrough, after you watch this video, and then start practicing using the tools. Do that for 2 months, and see what type of a difference that makes in your trading. I guarantee you're going to be trading less, you're going to be more patient, you're going to be taking positions that are in alignment with your trading plan, you're going to be less emotional, and you're going to be on track to building consistent profitability. That tool's an absolute game changer, so make sure you check that out. Okay, so what that tool's going to help you do is this exact process. It's going to help you identify the outcome-based expectations that you've created in your mind, the fantasy that you created in the virtual market. It's going to help you identify those in real time. And it's going to help you develop this level of self-awareness that's crucial as a trader to be like, you know what? I'm caught up in the virtual market. I'm caught up in the fantasies and unrealistic expectations in my head of what I think is going to happen next. And I'm projecting these onto the real market. It's going to help you identify and then ground those unrealistic expectations in real time, so that you can get to the point of, you know what, this is completely unrealistic, Pat. Why? Nobody has any idea of what's going to happen next. Who am I to think that I can know what's going to happen next? So I don't want to make a decision based on what I think. Let me just have a look at the facts. Does this trade truly align with my trading plan in this moment? Is the market truly aligning with my trading plan in this moment? If it's a yes, you take the position. If it's a no, you don't take the position. And it's going to help you build up that mechanical, balanced, poised, professional decision making before you take trades. Okay? So if you haven't already, go in there and download that tool and start using it before every single trade you take for the next 2 months. So use the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool. First link in the description, first link in the comments as well. And make sure you let me know how you get on with that tool as well in the comments. Now, like we mentioned, that there's 2 challenges. The first one is the psychological challenge, which the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to help you identify, ground unrealistic expectations to help you more present with the market. So let me just tie that into the theme of the video. How is that going to help you specifically with overtrading? Because the overtrading is driven by these fantasies and unrealistic expectations you create in your mind. There's an unlimited amount of unrealistic expectations you can create in your mind, but there's a very few finite great trades that are in the market. So that first tool is going to help you quiet down the unrealistic expectations in your mind that typically drive you to overtrade. It's going to help you quiet that down, and it's going to help you be very precise and accurate with the positions you take. So you're not going to be overtrading, you're going to be undertrading, you're going to be taking whenever the market presents an opportunity for you and take full advantage of that, because you deserve that. As a trader, you deserve to take advantage of what the market presents to you. But don't trade more, don't trade less. The tool is going to help you trade the perfect amount. You could call it the Goldilocks tool. It's a great tool. Okay. Now, the second challenge here is structural, right? If you rely on trading for an income, if you have to pay bills, if you have all these sort of challenges, or you don't have anything else to do with your life but trade, and you're incredibly bored if you're not trading, then of course that's also going to have an impact on your overtrading. But they all eventually link back to the psychological challenge, because if you have a desire to have to make money from your trading because you've got no other income, you've got bills coming in, that's going to drive a fantasy of unrealistic expectations. It's going to make you want to trade more, and you're going to want to disassociate from that pain and create these fantasies on the outcome, and it's going to drive unrealistic decision making. So as well as implementing what I'm going to share here, the psychological tool, the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is crucial for that challenge as well. Okay, so the structural solution. If you're dependent on your trading for income or fulfillment, you'll force trades that aren't there to be traded. Okay, this has happened plenty of times in my journey. I've seen it it's very common with my students as well. It's important to bring more balance and stability to your life and finances. And what I mean by that is it's important to have cash savings if you don't already have it, or have a part-time or a full-time job with money coming in, or have a business. Now, I know this may seem like it's completely obvious, and if I could have that, I would have it. But the truth is, a lot of traders have a big idea in their mind that it's, I can just become a full-time trader and make income from that. And they have an idea that trading is going to provide income for them just like a paycheck would. It's going to be consistent, it's going to come in month in, month out, or every 2 weeks, whatever it is. And the truth is, from what I've seen, the market just doesn't operate like that. The market may present opportunities some months that align with your trading plan. It may not present opportunities that month that align with your trading plan. And to judge your results month to month, even quarter to quarter, in my opinion, is a bit unrealistic because the market doesn't operate like that. The market just moves, but typically at the end of a year or at the end of 18 months or even 6 months maybe, you can have a good idea whether you're going to be profitable or not and whether you're getting income from that because your edge is going to be approximated over a larger sample space. So to have an expectation on the market that it's going to pay you like a job would, in my opinion, is unrealistic. So I'm a big advocate that it's important to have additional sources of income through either a part-time job, a full-time job, or additional businesses or additional income streams, whatever it may be, and as well as that, have cash savings. Now, again, I know that may seem obvious and that may seem like no shit, but I don't think traders put enough emphasis on it, and that's really why I'm saying it here. And I think traders overlook that and be like, oh yeah, that sounds nice, but I'm gonna make it with my trading. And to be fair, I'm very resistant to that. I come more of the belief, and it may not meet some of the fantasies out there that traders have, but it's what I've seen helps traders in the long run. Get a proof of concept from your trading. Bring in more money from your trading than you do from your full-time job. Then build up cash savings. Have 6 months cash savings there, and then trade full-time with your cash savings, with a trading system that's already proven to bring in income for you. And then use your dedicated time to build additional businesses so you have additional income streams. To me, that's a much wiser way to transition from full-time work to full-time trading, if that's even what you want to do. Some traders perform better with full-time work there. Some traders perform better with just a part-time job there or working another job there. There's no right or wrong. There's no shame in working a part-time or full-time job either. It's a lot of the times the wisest option for many traders, okay? So this can be done through additional income streams, cash savings. But again, if you just have cash savings and you see that dwindle, 6 months sounds nice, but then you're 3 months into your cash savings and you only have 3 months, and in your mind you're like, shit, I'm draining my cash savings. That can be very stressful too. So additional income streams is key, as well as having cash savings. And then on top of that, having a structure, having a calendar or a Google Calendar, whatever it is, or just a pen and a pad, and writing down goals in every single area of life for your health, your relationships, for your work, your other businesses, for maybe your social media if you're into that type of stuff, for your learning, for your personal development, and go through each of the areas of life and set goals in each of those areas, and then set high priority actions for each of those areas. And then structure your life holistically so you have your trading, yes, and you structured the high priority actions for that. For example, showing up the market, doing some forecasting, executing when the market presents an opportunity, but then also bring more balance to your life by having high priority actions in other areas of life and high priority actions that help you achieve other goals in life. And the more diversity and the more of a holistic approach you take to your day, the less likely you are to overtrade, the less likely you are to have the need to make money from the market and be impulsive to overtrading, or the less of a need you're gonna, have to overtrade because you're bored and you don't wanna face your boredom. So bringing balance to your life, bringing balance to your income streams, having cash savings, these are all key high priority actions to help lower overtrading, to help remove overtrading. And again, as well as having that psychological bulletproof your mindset tool, those solutions there are gonna be an absolute game changer for those of you who find yourselves overtrading. Okay, now in summary, overtrading comes from unrealistic expectations before you get into a position. Having all these ideas of all this money you want to make and what you think the market's going to do. And one thing I didn't add into that previous psychological challenge example is it's not only about thinking what direction the position's going to go and how much money you're going to make and how quickly it's going to do that, but it's also a lot of the times the materialistic or the monetary or the social credits that you attach to that. Let me give you an example. For example, you could be looking at euro dollar and you think it's going to go up to the upside. That's an unrealistic expectation because truly nobody knows what's going to happen next. okay? So you could be thinking it's going to go to the upside this quickly to this target in this amount of time. And you may create that idea in your virtual market. But then on top of that, you can also say to your mind, all right, this is, when I hit this position, I'm going to post it on my social media. That's going to get me social credit. People are going to think I'm a great trader. That's, again, an unrealistic expectation that you're then stacking on top of that original unrealistic expectation. And then you can also think that, you know what, this is also the position that's going to get me 3/4 of the way to pass my funded challenge. That's another unrealistic expectation. And then this is also one I'm going to show off to my girlfriend or boyfriend, and that's going to get me some brownie points with them. That's another unrealistic expectation. And then this is also a position that's going to help me get, self-worth and self-validation, right? And you're looking for your self-validation and self-confidence from an external source that's uncertain, which is not necessarily wise. So what you've done is you not only set an unrealistic expectation of what direction you think the market's going to go and how quickly it's going to do that, but you've also stacked all these other expectations on top of it. Okay? And of course, impulsively, like an animal, you're going to want to go off and impulsively grab that. So it's not only the direction and the time and how quickly it's going to move and what price it's going to get to, but it's all these other things that you want and you desire that you stack onto it that drive overtrading, that drive these unrealistic expectations. And also, as a result, if the position goes the other way, it's very painful. So like we're going to talk also about in this fundamental series, the pain of losing and the resentment to losing is that. It's losing the unrealistic expectation of pleasure and all those things that you've attached to that position. Just think about that for a second. So the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to help address all of that. It's going to help you have a self-awareness of all those things and ground all those things before you get into a position. So you're not overtrading, you're trading just the right amount, you're sticking to your trading plan, you're adhering to your edge, you're building consistent profitability without stress. And this is why a lot of the traders I work with and I give the tools to can ultimately do that. They can start to scale up without the stress, without the negative emotions, because they're aware of their expectations. They know how to manage them. They know how to neutralize them and to ground them and address them. And they're aware of everything that's going on in their head at a very high level. And they have a level of self-mastery over that, okay? So you also want to identify and ground the unrealistic outcome-based expectations using that free tool in the description like we've mentioned. And you want to bring more life and balance. You want to bring more balance to your life and income streams like we discussed. Okay, so hopefully this was insightful on overtrading. If you found it useful and you know that some traders in your trading community or your trading friends are going to find it useful, go in and copy and paste the URL and send it off to them or post it in your trading communities. Let's get the Trading Psychology Fundamental series out there so that more traders can be focusing on the right things with their psychologies. They can start to get rid of the negative emotions in their trading, and they can start to scale up with funding, and they can start to be consistent with that and bring in consistent profits from the market. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.